Most gyms and coaching businesses are losing 50% or more of their revenue right now, and it has nothing to do with your ads, your training, your programs, how many leads you're getting. It's because you don't have a real setting system. Your leads come in, then they ghost. Your consults book, then they no-show. And what should have been thousands of dollars in sales every single week just poof, disappears. This is the silent killer inside of most businesses and gyms. And I keep seeing it over and over and over again. My name's Adam, and I've been on both sides of the fence. First B2C, then building back-end systems for gyms. And I've seen exactly what works and exactly what burns money really fast. Over the last few years, I've helped gyms close 20K plus DFY deals. I've had clients double their lead flow in a matter of weeks. And right now, I'm sitting at a 95% close rate on my current offer. That's not because I'm special. It's just because the system I'm about to walk you through doesn't leave a lot of room for guesswork. It's been battle tested in the DMs, on the phone, and by setters I've personally trained across thousands and thousands of reps. This training is called the $10,000 Setting Masterclass, and by the end of it, you'll know exactly how to stop losing money on ghosted leads, how to raise your show rates, and how to plug and play a predictable revenue system into your business without spending an extra dollar more on ads. So if you run a gym or you coach clients and you're tired of wasting leads, pay attention, because what I'm about to show you is the same framework my clients use to guarantee 20+% revenue growth in just 12 weeks. This process didn't just appear one day, right? I've refined what I'm about to show you from over thousands and thousands of reps and thousands of messages on the phone, on messages, in the DMs, and with setters that I personally trained. Okay, every script, every question, every follow-up sequence has been pretty much battle tested in real businesses with real money on the line. Now, like the core problem and what I keep seeing is most gym owners and coaches are phenomenal at training clients or delivering sessions and getting results inside the gym, but they lack the infrastructure and the SOPs and the lead follow-up systems to like keep their pipeline full and predictable. They might get a lead here or there, but then there's no consistent system to convert them into like a lead into a paying client, right? And look, like the cost of bad setting is really, really big. Okay, misleads are misrevenue, and it's paying for ads that never get followed up on. It's like letting warm, interested prospects go cold simply because no one messaged them right away or at all, right? On the flip side, when you fix your setting process, the upside is massive. You close more of the leads you're already getting, you raise your show rates, your revenue climbs without having to spend more on marketing or ads. It's like finding extra profit hiding in your business. Okay, this is all the upside of settings. We're going to go into basically what you have access to, clicking the link below in the description. I call it the system setting blueprint. So now I'm going to shift screens and we'll go over there. So this is what I call phase 2 setting, or the setting system. This is the exact system that I use to turn warm leads into booked consults that actually show up and buy. This isn't cold DM spam. I promise you that. This is a controlled, emotionally intelligent process designed to qualify, nurture, build desire, and lead the call without ever sounding like a robot or a desperate closer. All right. So the first thing we're going to run into is the 10 commandments of warm messaging. Now, as you 100% would know by now, hopefully, there's a giant difference between hot, warm, and cold. But this is the most applicable for warm. There's a bunch of stuff for cold, but cold never really works as well as warm. So the 10 commandments, don't sound like a bot. The example, like you want to have something tied to their action. If you're messaging them after they saw the reel, then you like, hey, did that like ring a bell? Did you like that? Obviously, what I want to mention also is all of the examples are, well, examples. Don't necessarily use them one for one. Depending on your brand for coaching or your gym for tonality, you have to modify that, right? If you're more authoritarian, if you're more blunt, if you're more nice, like if you're female, if you're male. So these are 90% there, you just have to tweak it slightly. Now, you should never pitch without context. Never, ever, ever pitch a call within the first 2 up to like 10 messages. You shall always mirror their language, but lead the frame. It's like a first date. You don't overpower, you don't chase, stay one step ahead. And also, if you get their information, you don't have to chase because of automation, which we'll get into later. Never be desperate. Always re-anchor to their pain, not your program. People don't care about your system. They care about getting unstuck, especially if we're talking about fitness. So always reframe it around their struggle. Never use pushy follow-ups. Never send, hey, just following up. If you want to do any type of follow-ups and they've ghosted you twice or 3 times, send a GIF and then leave it be, right? You shall never give the link too early. If they're unsure, if they're vague, if they're not giving you actual answers, take the decision off, right? Option close them. Like, do you want me to send you over a couple times? I'll book it for you. What's your info? Always be direct, kind, so they should feel personal. They should not feel polished. You don't need to have proper grammar. And you need to be the expert, not the seller. You can't necessarily answer 1,000 questions, or when people are asking you XYZ, you kind of need to brush it off and be like, I get you. How can I help? If they're like, well, can you answer this question? Well, I can't answer that question without more context. So this goes into now what to not say in warm outreach. How are you? Let me know if you're interested. Totally understand that's not a priority right now. We also go into weak versus strong for LinkedIn, and then weak versus strong for Instagram stuff. So for example, would be like a follower opener. Really bad is, hey, thanks for following. How are you today? Really bad. A much better one is, hey, or yo, I just saw you followed. Out of curiosity, what was that? Like, what got you to do what hit? Or are you just like seeing my page, An opener, thanks for liking my post. Or, hey, I saw you liked X. Did that relate to you? Or what's up? If someone commented, et cetera, et cetera. Now, first DM qualifier, there's a bunch of options. It shows you what's good, what's bad. It's really good to train your team on as well, right? And the warm messaging system, this then defines, who's hot, who's warm, what's cold, what's not. But again, pretty much everything in here is applicable for hot or warm. And some of this won't work for cold because cold means they don't know who you are. So if you're just like, hey, can I help you with fitness? It's not really going to work. So let's go into the opener. Everything starts with the opener. After we get through the commandants, the first one is never sound like a robot. You don't open with, hey, thanks for following. How are you today? You tie your message back to their action so it feels natural. So again, if they liked a post, hey, I saw you like that about X, did that hit close or is it just relatable? If you saw they reply to a story, then it's like, yo, bro, I just saw you voted on that story. If you're doing a story call to action post, right? I'm curious, what got you inspired to do that? Are you trying to make a change? Are you trying to do XYZ? Or are you just looking at the page, right? If they're a new follower, this is a really good one. I just noticed you follow. I really appreciate that. I'm curious, what made you follow me? Do you have a specific goal in mind? The goal for the opener is not to pitch. It's to literally start a human conversation with another human and get context that you could build on. And this is in essence also your pattern interrupt that gets them to respond. That is the goal. All right. Then we go into qualification. So with qualification, once you get a response, you're not here to build rapport for 5 minutes. You're here to qualify them through pain and truth and whatever specific offer you're selling. An example of that is, for whatever reason, if you are a vegan gym, okay, other than asking what their goal is, the next question should be are you vegan? Because if not, they're not qualified for your offer, right? But with that being said, you want to ask specific questions to sort them into buckets fast. So what's your big goal for you right now? Is it fat loss? Is it strength? Is it energy? Is it confidence? What's the main thing? Most people I chat with are either stuck with consistency or feel overwhelmed or XYZ. Which one do you relate to more? You're kind of giving them the answer, but they're giving you the actual answer from themselves. And then you want to get numbers, specifics, right? Where's your current weight at, right? What's your current number? Or, hey, I don't want to overstep every boundaries, but if you're comfortable with it, what's your current weight right now? And do you have a goal weight? And then what number would actually make you feel amazing again? And when was the last time you were around that range? Was it a few months ago, a few years ago? So you want to know where they are, where they want to be, and how long they've been stuck, because this gets you building urgency without literally saying, oh my God, this is urgent, you need to change, right? So that goes to the next point, which is pain digging. If you don't have pain, you don't have a sale, period, all right? Especially when it comes to B2C or business to fitness, okay? It's just the reality. A lot of people, they have been overweight for 10 years. They are pretty apparent they need to change, but they need to realize it. It's they want to, and they need to, but they need to be kind of held the mirror up against them. It's the same thing you would do in a sales call, but it's just at a much lesser degree, because the sales call is more complex with objections and whatnot. You're not going to get too many objections on messages, and most of them we'll go over a little bit. It's all plug and play, right? You don't need to have so many different nuances, but you need to find the real reason what matters to them or why this matters to them. That usually means asking them something like, why now, but in a few different ways until you get actually something real. Okay, so is there any specific reason you want to do X or you want to fix X? Is it health, confidence, clothes, social stuff, whatever? And what is this doing day to day? Is it your energy, your mood, your confidence? How's it actually showing up? When did this get real for you? When was the moment you looked in the mirror and was nah, I can't keep going like this. I have to change. Something like that, right? And so you're not interrogating them. You're peeling back layers. So the goal is to get them to sell themselves on solving this problem, and you have the solution. You're not selling it for them, okay? So then we go into branching, right? We go into building desire and obviously reducing flakes. If they are very hot lead, which they gave good pain, real urgency, they want help, they have time, and also they're giving a lot of context, they're messaging you with a lot of words. Honestly, I'd love, this is basically what I'd use, right? And then if they ghost this message, then you could follow up with something like, hey, I didn't see a notification come through. I have this time or this available. Just shoot me over your email. And then from there, well, if you didn't get a call, you need to track KPIs, which we'll get to, but that should have landed. But anyways, most people will land in the bucket of form. So once you've got enough pain and you have a clear goal, you pre-frame. So we went over what to do with the hot lead. And then for a warm but not hot lead, Something like this. I hear you 100% X or bro or ma'am or whatever. Some of my best clients or some of my best members felt that same way at first. They were struggling with XYZ and weren't sure if anything would work, or like they were struggling, and I press send. Okay, you don't want to send this as a paragraph. And to be a little forward with you, it sounds like you really want to make a change, but you're not exactly sure how to do this because you're struggling with XYZ. Send. I would love to, if you're open to it or something like that, like hop on a quick 15-minute game plan chat to see if we would be a good fit. Would you be opposed to me sending over a calendar so we can see something work? Right? You notice how we're leading, we're not asking permission to sell, and you're framing the call as a solution, as a service. It's not a sales pitch. Never say, hey, do you want to get on a sales call? You're not B2B, right? So then for booking confirmation, warm and hot, pretty simple. You'd shoot this over. I mean, it will also send them automated messages depending on how you have it set up, but you can do this either way. You could even send a voice message. You can even send a video message. It depends, right? There's a lot of different nuance. We also have in here the warm lead follow-ups. If you basically got all their pain, but they didn't book or they no-showed, we'll probably go over that in another call because I don't want to make this video incredibly long. This would be like the plug and play bank. So use, like, from what you shared about XYZ, most of my clients were struggling with XYZ. This gives you, like, if there's dealing with energy and fatigue, diet and nutrition, this is like the message number 4 or 5. So that's your plug and play bank for that. Like with follow-up sequences, we'll touch on a tiny, a lot of this be beneficial to automate it. Especially if they no-show. There's a difference between if they book the call and they didn't show up, that's a no-show, okay? Or you asked for their info and you didn't get their info, they never booked the link, that's different, okay? Because then you would have to do some manual follow-up. At bare minimum, if you send someone the link and they leave you unread and you follow up once more, you could just send them like a free lead magnet to try to get their info, okay? Because then you could follow up automatically. There's a whole other thing about a pre-call nurturing sequence, which we're not getting into now. Get you people ready to buy, like objectionless close. I had a call the other day where they paid $2,000 and, well, it was like a 12K package, but they put $2,000 in full without an objection. For the no-shows, a lot of the automations in Power Pipeline will handle this for no-shows, but manual follow-up still wins when you have fewer leads and can personalize for sure. Like, again, we're not trying to be robots. Now, objection handling. This has, I don't think you're going to miss a single, because again, thousands of reps, I've written everything down, I've condensed it into here. So we have how much is it, I can't afford it, I need to think about it, now's not a good time, what's the guarantee? Like there's 11. Again, you might have slight nuance, but you have the frame, the skeleton, you could use pretty much all of that there. So objections in the DMs are not the same as in the phone and not the same on Zoom, okay? Because you handle them with confidence, not pushiness, and practically they're very copy and paste. And nobody knows if you're literally copying and paste it. So if someone's price fishing, okay, cool, right now it's $0. I don't even know if I can help you yet, let's talk first. I wouldn't say that word for word, but in my opinion, anybody that asks about price, they're never going to book a low likelihood. Okay? Something like or I need a fair, but what do you think will actually change by waiting another week or two? Because you want to do delay and then decision, like totally fair, but I need to think about it. Or is that like, I'm not ready to commit? Like, what's making you feel unsure, blah, blah, blah. And then at this point you could get the coach, trainer, etc. to send a video over and be like, hey, I understand you need to think about it. I was in the same shoes, or I had a client, blah, 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 blah. Now's not a good time. Well, that means you probably just didn't build up enough pain or urgency. Typically, when you get some of these objections, you need to look back on these other messages and figure out what the trigger is or why. Respectfully, when is? Next month will just feel like another one unless something changes. Or you could use, it depends on the time. If it's Black Friday or if it's New Year's, it'd be like, look, respectfully, cool, but we have a promo for Black Friday. Or respectfully, next week is New Year's. Like, let's get started now. Start yesterday, okay? But you never, in my opinion, should or have to close the sale in the DMs. You just need to remove enough friction to get them to commit and book the call and then show up, right? Now, once the booking is confirmed, you want to finally, basically pass the baton, so to speak. It depends if you have a closer, if you're doing the closing yourself, right? So once the booking is confirmed, you want to confirm the date, the time. You want to let them know that you're going to shoot them over a short video before the call so they're pre-sold. This goes into the nurturing sequence that I mentioned. That would be your VSL. You would also have other nurturing assets as well. The more the merrier. I'll make another video of this if you want. Just drop a comment below. But you want to frame the call as a clarity plan, or clarity and plan, not a pressure situation or session, right? This is where high show rates and close rates come from, not from adding more leads, from actually converting what you have and nurturing them and indoctrinating them and getting them excited to want to show up to the call, right? This is an example. We have prospect number 1, we'll call him Bob. Bob says, the exact same thing as Sally, okay? Same goals, okay, I get they're different genders, whatever. But Bob then gets told he's going to have a VSL sent to him. And I mean, you're not going to say it's a VSL. It's going to say, like, I used to use the line like, hey, I'm super excited. We're booked in for XYZ. Just keep an eye out in a couple hours. I'm going to shoot you over a video. It's going to help answer a lot of questions that you might have, run you through more about the system. Sound good? Great. So Bob gets that. He watches that. It's 15 minutes of going over pain, what the system is, why you could help, all about persuasion and indoctrination. Sally doesn't get a video. Sally booked like 2 days, like today's Friday. Sally booked on Sunday. Sally is very low likelihood to show up, unless, even if there's automated reminders, there's no real reason for Sally to show up, because Sally's going to get busy. Sally's not going to remember she needs to show up. She doesn't really give a shit, right? And that's why a lot of people get calls, but they have a really, really high no-show, right? And I can go on and on, but a lot of this could also be automated. But personalization is the win if you don't have a massive quantity or quality of leads, right? So now, if you're not tracking, and I alluded to this, your KPIs, key performance indicators, if you're not tracking your, well, everything, but especially when it comes to setting, you're flying blind. You don't know how to, minimum weekly KPIs is like the bare minimum. So you need to know total warms, leads like that were engaged, or how many new followers, how many people did you like message, replies received, calls booked, show rate, close rate, sales. But these numbers tell you whether it's a volume problem or a messaging problem or a closing problem. One tweak at a time is an extra 5 or 10 grand a month. I'm going to also show you a sneak peek of something really cool that I've been working on behind the scenes. All right, guys, so welcome to something that I'm really excited on. I've been working behind the scenes on for this for about 3 months now. It's very close to launching. I'm going to show you the really quick version of what this is. If you know what High Rose is by Alex Becker, this is like that on steroids, because I realized stats don't lie, people do, but also High Rose is only specifically for ads. It doesn't cover your most important KPIs like retention, LTV, as well as your sales metrics. So for the sake of this video, we'll just show you what it will look like to track your KPIs. There's also ones for SOPs, your admin, your role play, grading, your social media, all that stuff. But for this specifically, it goes over your phone setting. You'll be able to tell, you'll be able to see like who's setting, which one, total dials answered. You'll be able to see your emails. You'll be able to see your consults. So volume, held, rate, qualification. Let me try to show you a live example of one that's in. I don't have any stats loaded right now because it's been in development for 3 months, but this is, by the time you probably watch this video, it'll be launched, because there's, as you can imagine, there's a lot of coding and math behind this. But the moral of the story is, especially for KPIs, this is the overview. So it would show you the best funnels. It would show you where you're getting the leads, like through the phone, through messages, so through your content or cold, warm, etc. Then you're going to see your ad efficiency and your CAC. So you'll see your ROAS, you'll see your total revenue. And then obviously similar to like GHL, you're able to choose who has access to what. Like I'm showing you what it would look like if you are the admin, right? If you are the account owner, but you could choose like a trainer or someone works at your front desk. Obviously, you don't need them to see your revenue, so don't worry about that. And then it has everything: LTV, efficiency, time-based. Could break it down per sales reps. Your sales reps will be able to see KPIs as well. You could use that for the role plays. So yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm really excited to roll this out, and I'll make more videos and content on this soon, but you get like a sneak peek about this now. So one other thing to mention is you want to keep tying each part of this back to money, right? So if fixing your opener alone adds 3 extra book calls a week, and then your close rate is at 50% at $1,000 per client, that's an extra $6K a month. So it's not always about more work. It's about capturing the money you already have and like preventing leaking, right? So now that we've gone through a big chunk of the phase 2 setting framework step by step, I don't want you to just hear the theory. I want you to actually see what it looks like in the real world, live, unfiltered, with mistakes, with the course corrections, and the little details that make or break your setting results. So what you're about to see after this is a behind the scenes video that I sent to one of my setters, Austin. And this is exactly how I coach my team and their clients in real time, walking them through real conversations, pointing out where things went right, where things went wrong, and how to fix them on the spot. So here's the thing, this isn't just for my team. Everything I'm giving you here, you could use right now in your business. So if you want the full breakdown, all the scripts, the flows, the follow-up, the frameworks, the phase 2, everything you just saw, I have put them all together for you in a completely free resource you can get right now. Just click the link below and you'll get the entire. Now, this is the exact same toolkit that my paying clients use to book more calls without spending a dime more on ads. Hey, really quick, just wanted to interrupt. I just want to remind you, click the link below to grab the free resource and start plugging this into your process and team right now today. Whether you're doing your own setting or managing a team, this will make you much more money and waste fewer leads. Okay, so I'm gonna do a walkthrough of everyone. I really hope this is in order. It looks like it is. Okay, this is a good opener. He's 14, so let's see what you did. Blah, blah, blah. No, you pitched the call way too early. Like, your answers are way too vague and generic. You're not getting anything out of him. Granted, he's 14, but if he booked, no shit, he didn't show up. He's 14. I don't know this guy's name, so I can't check the answers. This looks like the calendar, but then that goes to where someone needs to check, ideally, okay, when someone signs up, you're gonna see the answers. Okay, so when we go to the pipeline, maybe it was this guy, I'm not sure. Okay, but it should, not in notes, if you go to the contact. So if we just go to contacts, what's this guy? Here we go. So the guy is a student making under $100. So this should be either automatically DQ'd or called and texted. So if he doesn't answer the phone after he's booked, then you would text him. Either Austin could text him through GHL once we get it set up and we're confirmed, or Kay could send a message just being something like, hey bro, I just saw your answers, or something. I don't say this word for word, but hey man, I just saw your answers. Like, it's cool that you're a student. I've worked with a bunch of them before, but you mentioned that like you have under $100 to invest into this a month. Like, that's kind of like my bare minimum, you know, so it's totally cool if like we have to circle back another time. I just don't want to waste your time or mine. Simple. Okay, next one. Okay, same opener, not bad. Trying to reach 200. I'm only at 50. So this guy's 12 years old. At a certain point, I'm not even sure why you're booking. But you see, look, how many characters can you count? Like, I don't even need to read this. I haven't read it. I'm just literally looking. This is Vegas fuck Austin. So I understand this guy's 11 years old or 12 years old. I don't care. It's the same concept. If Mr. Brian is not going to open up and you can't get him to open up, then don't even pitch the call, because no shit, this guy's gonna no-show. All right? It's not just a matter of booking calls. Like, you don't want to waste people's time, like, all the way around. So, like, here, this is Vegas. Fuck, oh, that's great. How is that working for you? Not much. I'm still 1/3. So I would have just said, what are you currently doing to lose that weight? Running. Okay. And I would have said, okay, so what exactly do you mean by running? And then you need to get them to open up, man. Okay. And then clearly this guy is just looking for free information, which is fine. Okay. But I wouldn't have booked him the call based off his answers. And again, going back to Kay, I would have called him, or I would have seen the answers, because this looks like it was booked through GHL. Okay. Next one. So this is fine. He responded. This is fine. He responded. But very vague. Very, 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 very vague. Okay. A week. I see. Very, 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 very vague. You need to get these people to open up, bro. Like, the tone is not terrible, but like, are you using the DM setter bot? Because it just seems like you're copying and pasting the exact same cadence template one for one. It won't work universally. Again, there's no emotion, there's no why, there's no consequence, there's not really a timeline. A week is nothing. So why is this important? He hasn't seen progress. Oh, okay, why? Great, so what does that make you feel? Okay, so you did try to ask, but it's very vague. So this is another reason, what's it called? This is another reason you need to get him to open up. I don't know what this guy's name was. I showed you where to go and find that info. Okay, this another young kid to belt muscle. So this guy's a child. Again, Austin, you can't, like, there's not even a point in pitching this. What's the point in pitching this guy? You're messaging him more than, it's hard for me to give an exact, because it seems like you're copy and pasting the exact same shit one-to-one, and that's clearly not working at all. It will not work universally. All of these are really bad examples, because none of them are actually, like, good to buy. This is 14, 11. Okay, this guy can't. Okay. All right, guys, so that was just one example of how we break this down live. Imagine having that kind of feedback on every single lead that you or your team talks to. That's why I built the complete phase 2 resource, so you don't have to guess and you don't have to learn the hard way, right? And so click the link below, grab the resource, and start plugging it into your process today. Whether you're doing your own setting or managing a team, this will make you much more money and waste a lot fewer leads, period. So the other thing to note, bro, is I'm not mad about you booking the kids, okay? But with those people in particular, take that and use it as like a learning lesson. Fuck the script. Who gives a shit whether a 12-year-old books a call? You know what I mean? So,
it's not necessarily press, it's more so get them to open up. There's something like discovery. It's called like golden nuggets, just in general. Think of it from an analogy or psychology standpoint from emails, right? I mean, to use your own shit that you understand, you want people to take action. You do that by evoking emotion and getting them to open up, or asking like thought-provoking questions, right? So I'm not mad you're following the skeleton. I'm not, okay? It's better that than like just winging shit. But the mistake a lot of people make, whether it's sales in terms of on a call or on messaging or in person, is they will follow everything one-to-one. And life and people are not linear. There's a lot of nuances, right? Now, most fucking 12-year-olds that want to lose weight or build muscle, those are shit. But when we get into like older people, some have different pain points. Some will respond better than others, right? And over time, as you develop more reps, you will understand kind of more so what to do, how to do it, because you'll fuck around with the skeleton structure and also what you know works best, right? So it's like there's a skeleton that I use for calls, like when I have someone on Zoom. There's 8 main pillars. It doesn't really matter how I get to those main 8 pillars, as long as it's in order and I follow the sequence. Like, it doesn't really matter the questions I ask, you know what I mean? You don't need to ask 8 questions though to set someone. I'd say at least 4 or 5. And yes, you want to match like the prospect. They're vague as fuck. But ultimately, like, for a message, you don't need like they're still vague as fuck. Send them the fucking lead magnet. And just be like, hey man, like you have the leverage. You know what I mean? Still capture the lead, the info, right? But I would just like, one of these fuckers, if they're being big as fuck, like, I'm 110 pounds. Okay, like, why? Oh, because I hate my body. Like, what does that mean? Oh, I don't know. Don't bother. Just be like, okay, cool, bro. Well, I'm super happy to have you a part of the team or community here. Here's the lead magnet. Well, you wouldn't say lead magnet. Here's free guide to whatever the fuck it's called, the ultimate Bible guide, healthy, whatever the fuck. I think you would get some super awesome done. But that's how I would handle. Should you get to open up and be specific in every single question? No, like, the opener is fine. Like, again, it's more so following the same frameworks and structures. Structures and frameworks work because it's been molded by repetition, especially through me. Like, if there's one thing I would say I am a definitive 1000% expert at, it is setting in messages and on the phone. Because I have done it like at nauseum and at a giant scale. Well, and then I will also go with like a sales call, like just follow the skeleton and shit. But ultimately, bro, you're not doing bad. I don't want you to take away and I'm beating up on you. The examples that you gave, I roasted it to the best of my ability. But they're also shitty quality prospects. So some of it's not your fault. But yeah, what I would do is fuck around and play around with that GPT setter bot. Even like without live, like, do it yourself in your own time. Fuck around with it. Learn what it suggests. And then you'll get the hang of it more. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing that I did and how I got really good at setting. I didn't have, obviously, GPT back in the day. But when I elicited a good response to a certain objection, or when someone asked me a certain question, I'd make a whole long ass note in my notepad on my phone. And then when another person would ask me the same shit, I'd have it. It's like ammo, you know? But obviously over time, over those years, those, in terms, I like, if you're going to say, okay, send me that, I kind of have already. Like, inside of phase 2, what I call phase 2, it has all of that shit. Like, literally the past 5 years and 10,000 messages that I've sent. It has all the objections, blah, 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 blah. And that's also, that shit, that curriculum, my knowledge base is also inside of that setter for GPT, like the K1.
Okay, Austin, analogy time. And I understand why Kay would be upset. First of all, Austin, I need you to... Here, I have homework, and this is going to be an anal request, but I sent about 6 minutes of voice messages earlier. I want you to... Just a level of accountability. I'm not trying to, like, belittle or babysit you, bro. But I want you to send me a Google Doc, or whatever you prefer, the notes that I wrote down of what you think you're going to take away from that, okay? Now, I also want you to let me know what you're most struggling with or what you need more clarity on between the voice messages and the Loom that I sent. Let me know. Because the biggest thing that I could definitely encourage you to do would be to test more through GPT, right? And if you need me to assist in making you like your own custom frameworks or SOPs, I can do that. But it would also help for me to understand what you don't understand in terms of the curriculum. I know there's a lot, but I sent you on the VA Academy, there's like the whole module dedicated towards this shit. And so, well, just let me know how I could help you, help me, help you, help you, help Kay. Because I'm glad he caught it. It is really important. Like the analogy is setting on messages, or again, whether it's email, right? Without evoking some type of, they're not going to take any action. So a perfect example of whether they were 12, 13, 14, whatever, those 4 calls that you booked were like bare minimum basic bullshit. Like 4 messages to set. You had no emotional consequences, no reason why they actually wanted to change. And so, sure, they booked the call, but then they no-showed. They probably would have no-showed, or Kay would have canceled. Like, if Kay called them right away, he probably would have canceled the call irrespective. So, if we use the analogy of you, like, let's say you're trying to hire a coach. If you messaged, well, let's say the coach messages you, so it's not warm. It's not hot, it's warm. And you're like, I want to make money. And he's like, why? And then you're like, because I like money. Would you then show up to the call or book the call and then show up? Probably not, right? So just take that with a pinch of salt. In terms of what he just messaged, burning leads, I wouldn't say that to that extent, because like from the examples that I've seen of what's been sent, most of them are not good quality prospects. Now, what I would say though, is I can't get back to you as soon as possible. Like today's my last day before I go away. But at the bare minimum, message Kay if there's a whale or a really high quality prospect. Don't wing it. Because if I have a chance to review it, or Kay or GPT or a combination of all 3, we don't want to fuck up good quality leads. Honestly, whether if they're 12 and 10, who gives a fuck? Literally, like, use them as practice, okay? But if they're good quality, we need those people to get on a call at minimum. Is it a guarantee that they close? No. But I have confidence in Kay, where I know at absolute minimum, if he had 3 good quality prospects, he will close at least one of them. 100,000%. We're going to get to the point of getting him to 50%, but that comes with more repetition. Also, to play kind of good cop, bad cop, which is typically not my role. Typically, I'm really mad. It is Austin's first job setting, so we'll take it with a pinch of salt. The leads aren't the greatest, but it has to get... If you can't convert shit leads, you're not going to convert good leads. Or, I guess, kind of the opposite, but...
So look, if you've made it this far, you know more about proper setting than 99% of coaches, gym owners, or anyone out there. You've seen the exact frameworks, and you've seen me now apply it and watch me apply it live with my own team. The next step is really simple. Put it into action. Okay, so if your gym is stuck with inconsistent lead flow, if your team is winging it in the DMs or on the phone, and you're tired of losing money on the leads that should be clients, this is the exact frameworks we install for the clients. This is the exact framework that we install for our clients. So if you're ready to fix this now, and you want us to install the entire system in your coaching or your gym business, book a call using the second link below, and we will map out exactly how to plug this in so you can start booking more high quality calls that actually show up and buy. And I promise you, this is not some like crazy landing page. It's a simple bottleneck call. It's literally me and you talking one-on-one to see if or how I could help. So, but if you're not ready for that and you don't want us to help you build it yet, then grab the free setting system guide. It has all of the scripts, the flows, and the follow-up sequences that we use, the same ones that clients pay thousands of dollars for, and you can start using that today. And really quick, just remember, all right, what you just saw here is only one very minute part of the full client system we run. This was phase 2. There's phase 1 and 3. Phase 1 is all about phone setting. Phase 3 is all about closing. So whether you install this alongside the other phases is completely, it kind of does completely change how you attract and convert and retain clients, but this does help and can apply, and you can apply it right now today. So click the link below, grab the full phase 2 resource or book your call, and start implementing this the right way, and I will see you. If you're still here, thanks for watching it all the way to the end. YouTube thinks you're really going to like this video on the screen now, so click it and watch it, and I'll see you there.